Don't let your strongest muscle be your goddamn them Twitter fingers, nigga. Boss that nigga, man. Get your shit together, man. I'm over it. So ready. Over it. So ready, nigga. Coming on this bitch real fresh, bulletproof, high shoe, bitch, you better wear your vest. She try to get something off her chest, but the drip on her head made a mess. I'm a real piece of profit on this one, but nighttime sheet, I'm a beast. I'm like, here, eat it up, baby, eat it. Here, eat it up, baby, eat. I walk with my pole like a pimp in the state that I got up a ton. I walk around with a lot of blaze, I lit a rip on it, yeah. Tonight it's a rap, I got a show, live show, and the niggas still indie. Hey, UPK niggas winning, UPK niggas gifted. Hey, I had a little money, but I lost a little money for that punk ass job. Now I'm getting paid off passion, so it's on the right that I stunt. All the nigga wanna hate, frustrates on the face, boy, love wasting time. I don't hate being around broke minds, I motivate their ass in their grind. And that's a real ass leader, real ass nigga, 2G short in the flesh. And I'ma eat my plate so good, I'ma let a little bit while the dish. And I'ma beat down your block so rich, top off, you'll feel that leg. I went to another bitch house, cause that bitch ain't clean up the kitchen. And I ain't saying no names, give a goddamn shit, let that motherfucker learn. I left my phone unlocked, woke up, bitch had a damn chalkboard in front. Wanna know who it is, who the fuck is that bitch? I ain't telling no business. And I bought another motherfucking chopper, and that bitch came with some haters, but hey, I'm over it. Pass over it. I'm over it. Pass over it, nigga. I'm over it. Pass over it. I'm over ready, pass over ready, nigga. I'll pass over ready. My money coming steady, I'ma rock out my good talk. Hey, the women looking good, got them white cross. I was trying to see who got good talk. South Carolina, with them 5 thick women, they better know how to cook up. Hey, never take the bitch from scratch. That'll keep a nigga, yeah, on stop. I be in Atlanta with the hitters, zone 6 rocking with a nigga. Had a nigga walk up to a G, but couldn't get past my security. Yeah, I go out, that's my dog already, and a priest to a fish. Niggas in the world traumatized, trying to buy a trip off a nigga. But when keep shows coming, keep these hoes running hill for a change, he'll fly. But I gotta keep my fly swat on me, cause these nat bitches lying. I'm in North Carolina, doing real big shit, I been got new ties. If you ain't round broke, boy, you tired. But me and my niggas, yeah, pass over ready, pass over ready. Over ready, pass over ready, nigga. Pass over ready, pass over ready, over ready, pass over ready, nigga. That's the pass over ready, man. Mixtape, EP, whatever you want to call it. I'm beating y'all more. Y'all run this shit up, man. Do this shit for the Lord, man. Pass over ready, man. UPK South Carolina, man. Chart 2G. Come on, I see you, nigga. Come.
Events are back, you guys.
All right, Shalom, Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. And since 1969, we have been educating Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians on the true nationality, culture, and heritage according to these scriptures. Need I remind you, the Bible has nothing to do with religion. The Bible is about Black and brown people's ups and downs, and it is all about culture, right? With that being said, we have to find out, why do our oppressors hate us? Why for so long, they wanted to make it seem like that the Bible was about white people, that the Bible only consisted of white people. Why? Why is that? Because simply they hate us. And the Bible talks about how our oppressors hate us. They don't like us, as you've known. But they destroyed us so much, as it says in the scriptures in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, right? It says that they will destroy us. They will put a yoke of iron upon our neck until they have destroyed thee. And just not putting that yoke of iron upon our neck and us being captive and subject to their gods and their religions, they have destroyed us. That's what they have done. They have not made us stronger. They have done nothing to our lives and added to it. They have, in fact, destroyed our lives. And just recently, what I was just saying, that was in the 48th verse in the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, the 48th verse, when it talks about the yoke of iron upon our neck until it have destroyed us. And that's what it exactly has done. It has destroyed us. That they hate us so much that they cause us to hate each other. That's what they have done. So with that being said, I'm gonna get my first scripture in the book of Psalms in the 58th chapter, right? And we're gonna start at verse 3. That's what we're gonna do. So this is the book of Psalms, chapter 58 and verse 3. I want to get my got doggone Bible over here. Right? Most High Christ. One Christ, Yaganah. One Christ. All right. If you could, you came in right at the right time. If you could, can you give me the book of Psalms, chapter 58 and verse 3? And when you got it, Baba Kashab, you could go ahead and read it. We can get it cracked.
Book of Psalms, chapter 58, verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb.
Mm-hmm.
They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
Right. The wicked are estranged from the womb. Who are the wicked? Our oppressors. As soon as they come out, as soon as they are born, they are wicked and estranged. They do wicked, vile, and sick things, man. And it says they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. That's why it says in the book of Deuteronomy, right, that the Bible says to not marry their daughters. That's exactly why. Because as soon as they be born, they're wicked and estranged, and they already go astray. As soon as little Timmy and little Jacob is born, he's already thinking about a God that he's going to make up and he's going to serve. And he's going to serve it so much and believe in it so much in his imaginary friends that he's going to convince you that they're real. And if you don't believe him, he's going to inflict bodily harm to you. He's going to cause violence. Because as soon as they be born, they go astray. And what? They as they be born, speaking lies. That's how we got this whole thing of that the Bible consists of white people. We got this whole thing that Jesus Christ is white. We have this whole thing that Santa Claus is real and that Christmas is Jesus Christ's birthday. That's why we have these things throughout the earth. Because as soon as they be born, they were born and wicked and estranged from the womb. And as soon as they came out their mama's womb, our oppressors, they started to lie. As soon as they found out they could talk, as soon as they found out that they could form words into a sentence and make it make sense, you know, they started speaking lies. And that's why in the scriptures it says, who changed the truth of God into a lie? I have the answer for you. Our oppressors. They changed the truth of God into a lie. That's the whole reason why you think that Christ is white. Because why? They had the power. They have the money. They have the glory. They have the authority. So when they instructed Christianity into our lives through slavery, they made it, they try to make it coexist with the Bible. And then they added their own words. In the scriptures, it says, don't add to the scriptures and do not take away from the scriptures. But that's what our oppressors do. And those are the same men that go around the world and profess and say that they are men of God. The biggest churches are owned by Caucasian men. And as well as you got our brothers as well. Well, they are of their father, the devil, and their father is, in fact, our oppressor because they're their little puppet. That's what they are. And with that being said, they go and lie because they had the power. And since they instilled so much fear on us through the yoke of iron upon our neck, and then they gave us Christianity, and then once they took a yoke of iron off of us, in the times of having a yoke of divine on our neck through slavery, they gave us Christianity. So when they took it off, it was so embedded into us because Christianity was beat into us. Understand that, right? So since it was beat into us, now after that, the oppressors don't have to do anything, because you got to understand this. In the time they had power, when they took the yoke of iron off of our necks, they had more power. The reason why they don't have to do anything is because they instilled fear in us when they still had power with the yoke of iron upon our neck and the power of Christianity. So once they take all that away and just leave Christianity and they increase their power, they no longer have to do anything, because now it's a system that's going to work against itself. We're going to start to work against ourselves. We're going to start to be and go astray. That's why we have interracial marriages. We believe their lies because we are still scared. We still have fear for them. That's why they're so powerful, because it's a mental game. It's like a mental game of chess. We playing checkers, but they're playing chess. And we fear because we don't want to step up and get out of the slave mindset. We don't want to fight those demons. Rather, we would rather be content and stay and live in America because, well, we think that America's done us so good. How has America done you so good and it does not profit you anything? You see, that's why it says that oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. And because our oppressors gave us gifts that lead us astray from our own God, the most high God, Yahweh, that's how you know that they hate us. Because they know who our God is. Just like in the biblical times, when they were back then, they knew. That's why we asked them, we just wanted to serve our God 3 days. They wouldn't let us because they knew. They knew we were God's chosen people. They knew the power of our God. They knew it. And that's why they try to keep us astray, keep us away, Salaki. And that's the whole reason why we are in this ordeal, as to why they hate us. Because they understand that we are God's chosen people. That's what they understand. And that's what you got to understand, that if you are God's chosen people, well, I need to get my act right. I need to act accordingly. If you could, give me Obadiah verse 3.
Coming out of one con. Book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 3. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that said in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
Salakia, right? The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, right? Now, our oppressors are so prideful. And I'll break it down to you understand to a core so you can focus more to understand how are they so prideful. Well, break it down. Break it down. I'm going to tell you how. In America, America's slogan is land of the free and home of the brave, right? They also profess themselves to have the biggest and best military across the face of the earth. They are the bullies of the earth. They are the ones that bully everybody, right? Yeah, the water says. Those are the ones that bully everybody. Those are the ones that have so much pride in them that they feel like nobody can hurt them. But I have you know that they are wrong. I have you know that they've been bullying everybody, not just blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Everybody else found out that the white man was a god doggone devil the Bible speaks of as well. So like our oppressors, the Caucasian man, right? That's what they found out. They found out, hey man, he is a deceiver. Right? The Arabs found out. They've been at war with America for over 20 years. At this point, they ain't even fighting over nothing. They done went and took Kuwait. They took Afghanistan. They took Iraq. They took Baghdad. They over there in Syria taking that over. I mean, that's five countries. That's 5 countries right there. Alone. Don't make me go deeper when they're going all over. Right? And they say, so who shall take me to the ground, right? Now I'm gonna keep going, right? Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. Now, this is definitely talking about the Caucasian man. And I like to say the number one oppressor on the face of the earth. At the top of the list. He's the top of the list. The Caucasian man is at the top of the list of the worst oppressor to ever walk the face of this earth. Him, right? And this is how you know it's talking about him, because it says that he dwelleth in the clefts of the rocks, right? That means that all his homes are made out of bricks, rocks, concrete. You look at the skyscrapers. What are they made out of? Concrete, which is what? Rocks. What do they have sidewalks made out of? Concrete, which is what? Chopped up rocks mixed with water. Understand this, right? That the reason why, matter of fact, I'm gonna keep reading because I want to give it away, right? Whose habitation is high. Now you might look at that and you might say, well, that's nothing. You know, what does that even mean? They like to stay up in the skyscrapers. They like to stay up at the top of the hills in California, right? Where nobody can reach them, right? That right there is a symbolism in itself. Don't think just the Bible just talking about it. It's the reason why the Most High said that they have pride in their heart. And that's why they stay up high, because they're so prideful. And the reason why they stay up high is because they want to look down upon you. That's no coincidence. That's on purpose, because it's in them. That's how much they hate us. And the sooner that you go up there and you get the penthouses, they ask you questions. Well, what do you do? Are you sure you belong in this neighborhood? You know, are you sure you belong in this gated community? Salagi, are you sure that you're in the right neighborhood? No, you don't deserve to be in this penthouse. How much you make? How did you get over here? How much drugs did you sell? They want to be up in those high buildings because it's in them, and it's also a symbolism thing. It's I'm better than you. You ever I'm gonna tell you how much our oppressors hate us. Have you ever rolled through a neighborhood, right? Nice neighborhood. Have you ever rolled through at night and noticed that like you can see all through the house? Sometimes it don't be no blinds or no curtains. It just be a see-through house. That's how the Caucasian man has his house. You know why he has his house like that? Because he's rubbing it in your face that he has nicer things than you. And he rubs it in your face. They don't have blinds in their house. You ever seen a Caucasian man's house? It's all see-through. Glass doors, glass shower. He wants you to see him shower naked and his woman walk around naked. They got see-through windows and all the lights light up the house. That's because he knows that you cannot have those certain things. And he rubs it in your face. And then he goes and talks about your oppressors. Goes and talks about your ancestors, Salakia, to rub it in your face because he hates you. But I thought God loves everybody. You're supposed to be a part of the people that love everybody, right? They don't love you, man. Every single chance they get, they rub it in your face. That's why their houses are see-through. That's why they stay up in the penthouses that's 30 feet tall in the skyscrapers, because they look down upon you, right? That saith in his heart, meaning his mind, not the heart that beats in your chest, not that one. You don't talk with your heart. Your heart pump blood and go through your arteries and everything and make your body function. That's what this heart does. But this heart up here thinks and allows everything to move around your body. And our oppressors in their mind and their heart, they're saying, who shall bring me down to the ground? That's what they're saying. That's why they are up high. That's why. And that's secretly talking to you, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, man, woman, and child. You can't get up here. You can't make enough money to even get a pipe bomb or a demolition squad to blow the building down. Who gonna bring me to the ground? I'm in a 30-story high rise. I make $500,000 a year. Who gonna bring me to the ground? Salakia. I got the best military. Who gonna bring us to the ground? I got nukes and everything. I'll push the button right now. My name Joe Biden. What's up? My name Donald Trump. What's up? Who gonna bring me to the ground? Why do you think they was talking so bold? Because they fit the scriptures of the men that hate Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Need I remind you, the only reason why they even have a strong military is because of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. If Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men and women did not serve in their military, they wouldn't have a good military. Because I have you know, I don't care how many Marines be Caucasian men and how crazy he yelling and how much he doing this and that. He just crazy and sick in the head. He has no intellect. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's just off his meds, off his rocks. He's just crazy. But when it comes to the front lines, who's on the front lines? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Who do they come and recruit the most? Who do they come and try to get up in there? Who do they send on the front lines to go and fight in Iraq and we die at the masses? Once again, at the hands of a Caucasian man, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And you mean to tell me that they don't hate you? You mean to tell me that if you go and serve in World War I and World War II, and you risk your life for this country, right? That's supposed to be home of the brave and land of the free. Well, I'm part of the home of the brave if I'm going out there fighting for you. But then I come back after serving 30 years and I fought in World War I and World War II, and I get treated like dog crap. I get treated like cow manure. I get treated as if I'm less than of a human when I risked my life. And if it wasn't for me risking my life, it wouldn't be no little Caucasian babies, no little Arab babies running around free if it wasn't for me protecting America. But we get treated like trash. But let little Timmy go over there and he goes and he don't even do nothing. He gets shot at and scream. He come back home off of that one term and they treat him like a hero. You ever seen Forrest Gump? They treated Forrest Gump like a hero. They treated him like a hero. He did little to nothing. As far as I'm concerned, what did he really do? Nothing. Remember when he was on a stage doing a speech? You know, the entire time he was doing his speech, the microphone wasn't even plugged in. Still treated him like a hero, even though they didn't hear nothing he said. But let a black man go up there. You get talked about. You get scrutinized. Nothing good comes your way. Why? Because our oppressors hate us. No matter if you serve in the military. It don't matter if you're the best basketball player in the world, LeBron James. They hate you. Then a couple years back, LeBron James had the word nigga written on his garage. But I thought this place love us. I thought our oppressors love us. That wasn't no black, Hispanic, or Native Indian writing no nigga on LeBron James' garage. We all know who did that. It don't matter what profession you do. Our oppressors hate us. They absolutely do. Can you read that scripture again, Baba Kashan?
Book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 3. The pride of thy heart has deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that said in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
Right. All right. Now give me Acts 4 and 26. I'm gonna tell you how much the oppressor. I'm gonna tell you how much the oppressor don't like you. Go ahead.
Chapter 4 and verse 26. The kings of the earth stood up, and the rulers were gathered together against the Lord and against his Christ.
Right. Now this right here, you can stop right there. This right here in the book of Acts in the 4th chapter, the 26th verse, it says the kings of the earth stood up. Who are the kings? The rulers of this earth. If if Adolf Hitler was living right now, he would be the king of the earth. He would be a king that's dwelling in this earth, right? You got Joe Biden, the king of the earth. You got Kim Jong-un, the king of the earth. You got Vladimir Putin, and then the other dude over there in Ukraine. And then you got all these other countries. You got Thailand, and everybody has a king, including Africa. Everybody has a ruler that is part of delegating everything that goes on in that particular country, right? And it says the kings of the earth stood up and their rulers were gathered together against the Lord and against his Christ. Now, the Lord is Yahweh. And his Christ is who? His only begotten son, Yahushua HaMashiach. This right here is talking about in the midst of World War III, our oppressors are going to go against Christ. That's how much our oppressors hate us, that they're going to go once again, try to annihilate another black man. You know, remind you, this particular black man is our only salvation. Let's just hypothetically speak, if they successfully defeated Christ, that's our salvation. Let's say if they successfully did it, you know what would happen? It would not be a kingdom of heaven. Our oppressors, the Caucasian man, would still rule. Will still be here in America for another 250 years. You know, reminds you, hey, you know, I won't be surprised slavery would come back. The world would be filled with Sodom and Gomorrah, more murders, more drugs, more pagan holidays, and 30 more religions, right? That's how much our oppressors hate us, that they're willing to create a space force to try to defeat UFOs that are filled with black and brown angels to come down with 200 million of their brothers and the rest of them UFOs alongside Christ to save blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians here on earth. That's how much our oppressors hate us, that they're willing to go through the thick and thin to create bullets that have green tracers on them. So when they shoot them in the sky, they can see if it hit the UFO, to create satellites and bombs that can detonate in space to try to stop UFOs or the chariots of the Lord that are filled with angels to come and save us, because they don't want us to be saved. They don't even want to be saved themselves, but they go around the world and profess that they do. But how? If you knew any better, if you actually read the Bible, aren't you a Christian? You would understand that the UFOs are the Lord's chariots. You would understand that Christ is coming back in the midst of them. But you don't understand. Why? Because this book is not written towards you. You could not simply understand because you are not a black or brown man. That's how much our oppressors hate us, that they want us to stay in this hell. So that's why they created the Space Force. That's why they train their soldiers right now. That's why they got these nuke bombs and these homing launching missiles and these lock-on missiles, because as soon as that chariot come across the sky, they're going to try to destroy it. But once again, you cannot box with God. Boxing against God is like fighting Floyd Mayweather. You're just not going to win. It don't matter how big you are. It don't matter how skillful you are. It don't matter if you taking steroids. It don't matter if, you know, somebody got a mole in his camp. You can't do nothing. Just like in the instance of trying to infiltrate the ISUPK and the Commanding General Yohana. It's nothing you can do. You can't stop the work of the Lord. So you cannot stop the chariots of the Lord. But our oppressors, you know, they got so much pride in their heart. And that's why, once again, I'll say that they say, who shall bring me to the ground? They saying, well, who gonna take me? I got the best military. You think God gonna stop me? That's why they got the Space Force. Because they saying, we've been to go to war. That's what they saying. We're finna go to war. Matter of fact, yeah, you can read that again.
Book of Acts, chapter 4, and verse 26. The kings of the earth stood up, and the rulers were gathered together against the Lord and against his Christ.
Right. Now, with that being said, it's going to bring me to my next scripture. Give me Isaiah 59:7. I'm going to tell you how much they dislike us, how much hatred they have in their heart.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 59 and verse 7. Their feet run to evil. Mm-hmm. They make haste to shed innocent blood. Their thoughts are thoughts of iniquity, wasting, and destruction are in their paths.
All right, read it again, and I'm going to break it down.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 59 and verse 7. Their feet run to evil. Mm-hmm. And they make haste to shed innocent blood.
Stop right there, right? Their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed innocent blood. I'm gonna give you a prime example of how this is true. I'm gonna tell you how the Bible is in fact indeed true. I'm gonna tell you how. Remember that mass shooting that happened? I think it was in New York. It was at a grocery store, and I believe that it was on a Twitch broadcast. It was broadcasted live, and it was some Caucasian boy. And he came out there with the little headgear on. He had the body cam and everything. He was strapped up to the T. He was like a military soldier. Remember, he hopped out the van and unalived 10 to 11 black brothers and sisters.
Come.
His feet ran to evil. Did he not make haste to shed innocent blood? Were not those people innocent? Now, I'm saying according to, they were innocent according to a citizen of America or innocent bystander or just a regular person living. Now, whatever stuff that they did on the outside, we already know if you're not an ISUPK, the Commanding General Yohana, you kind of doing some things out there in the earth. But I'm saying this in a civilian standpoint. They were innocent. They didn't do anything wrong. They were just going to the grocery store. And what did he do? He made haste to shed innocent blood. He drove an hour away. It was so bad that on his gun, he had quotes and words written out. And so basically, he like, hey, this is for you. That was a tactical operation, right? And let me tell you how much more our oppressors even hate us. When the police came, they apprehended him. They arrested him. They didn't gun him down. Why did he get the same treatment? They came and arrested him and politely put him in a car. They didn't throw him in there. They gently placed him down, make sure your arms is good. You good. You sat down in a chair, and they drove off peacefully. But let it have been one of us. Let it have been I had a knife on me. To apprehend the knife from me, he would have shot me to death. And then while I'm bleeding out, he's going to tell me, don't move, stop resisting. That's not me. That's my nerves moving. That's the rest of my life getting out of my body. But that's what they'll say. That's how much they hate us, man. That's how much they hate us. That even in the midst of that, him shooting our brothers and sisters, 10 to 11, that they still arrested him in a very respectful manner. And I'm pretty sure he got his time cut. I'm pretty sure he's in protective custody, because they don't want other black and brown brothers in the pen to whoop his behind for what they did, because that could have been very well one of their mothers. He has a different treatment, but he made haste to shed innocent blood. He drove over an hour away to just unalive people. That's what he did. But you want to say that you love everybody. You want to claim God love everybody. That is the exact reason why the Most High hates you. Because you make haste to shed innocent blood against his children, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, who are my brothers. We are a family, and you're not part of our family. You're excluded from our cookouts. You're excluded from our Passovers. Why? Because any event that something does not go your way, you might pull that same thing that Peyton Grindon did. You might do that same type stuff that Kyle Rittenhouse does, or George Zimmerman. You might lash out. You just might, because it's embedded in your body, in your DNA, to make haste to shed innocent blood, right? Their thoughts are thoughts of iniquity. Iniquity is what? Sin. Did Peyton Grindon not have thoughts of iniquity? Did he not have thoughts of sin? Did he not have premeditated murder on his mind? Did he not literally write in marker on the gun different threats and people's names in derogatory terms, and then acted on those terms, and then recorded it live for millions to view? If that's not thoughts of iniquity, man, I don't know what is. If that's not a man full of hypocrisy, I don't know what is. If that's not that a product of Christianity, and that Christianity is a lie, then I don't know what is. Because these people got you fooled. And you're gonna swear up and down that he was just a bad Caucasian man. They all like that, man. Because you're going to say that he was just bad. Well, shoot. You're going to say Nathan Bedford Forrest was bad. All the KKK members, they got to be bad. Or they just had a bad day. What is it? You picking and choosing now? Oh, you picking and choosing because you're a product of Christianity. That's why. I understand now. I understand. I understand your ways of thinking. And that's why the ISUPK and the commanding General Yohana must be pushed throughout the entire four corners of the earth. Because if not, iniquity will consume our brothers and sisters. With that being said, you got to understand these people don't like you. They don't love you. I mean, you can look at the track record between these people and understand that, hey, they don't like us for no apparent reason. But we got hella reasons to not like them. Hella reasons. But I do know the main reason why they don't like us. The main reason is because they are not God's chosen people. The main reason is because they have no salvation. Another reason is because they have no God. They have no backbone. They have no culture. That's why in the scriptures it says that they are a fugitive and a vagabond. The Lord said that he will bring a nation from the far ends of the earth to hold us captive. Why? Because we wanted to follow their ways. And when we followed their ways, we started to realize these people don't like us. It was the reason why the Most High says to gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. They never desired us. That's why George C. Wallace, part of the Ku Klux Klan back in the 1960s, said segregation forever. And that's why his other counterpart said that he didn't believe in segregation. He believed in slavery because he did not want us to join together. Let me let you know something. The Most High been wanted us to be segregated. But you know who messed it up? That coon of a man, Martin Luther King. Having the lust of our oppressors. And got us to integrate, and that messed us up forever. And that's why you got to understand something. They'll never love us. We are going back to segregation now. Here in the ISUPK and the commanding General Yohana, this is segregation all over again. As it should have been from that time Martin Luther King was living, it should have stayed that way. Well, we bringing it back. That's what we doing. We bringing it back. We ain't got no time to be playing around with these guys. We ain't got no time to be lovey-dovey, man. Time is high. These people don't like us, man. You know, bodies dropping left and right, right? I'm going to keep reading. Wasting and destruction are in their paths. Whoa. What did I just say? Nah, love and peace is in their path. No. Wasting and destruction is in their path. But I thought God loves everybody. No, wasting and destruction are in their paths. Meaning what? Following our oppressors is like walking on a trail of hot coals. You're going to burn yourself. And you're going to burn yourself so bad that you're going to get third-degree burns. You're going to burn the skin off your body. You will have bodily injuries. You will have self-infliction. Because they hate us so much. And they convince us that they love us. And they hate us so much that they drive us astray from who we really are. You better start understanding something, man. If somebody takes my ancestors, right? And they literally beat Christianity into us and I see it with my own eyes, do you think that that person loves you? I mean, look, Shamar one, let me ask you a question, right? And my question that I propose to you is, to join the ISUPK, to come back home, to come back to your true nationality and culture and heritage, did we jump you in? You didn't have to. It's not a gang initiation, is it? We didn't force this on you, right?
That's right.
We didn't strap you down to a chair, you know, with the nails on the pointy end up and have you sit in a chair while we strap you down. I take a leather belt and whip your tail and say, you better join the ISUPK, did I? That proves my point. We didn't have to force anything on our brothers to come back home. You can go out there and dwell with them heathens. Go ahead. But over here, we're going to love each other. This is love. But Christianity is hate because it was beaten into us. This is love. Learning the Lashawan Quadash. But hate is learning Spanish from the conquistadors that beat it into you. That's hate. That's hate. Every Hispanic home you go into, they got all the Joseph and Mary candles lit. Them long candles be about this long. Stand about that high, the size of a water bottle. And every goddamn candle got a different face. Joseph's face done changed colors different times and different hairstyles. Mary got a different cloak on every goddamn time, whether it be green, red, or blue. Everybody changing. That's hate, man. They don't tell you the real depiction of Christ. They don't tell you the real depiction of Mary or Joseph. They don't tell you that those were black and brown individuals. They lie to you. Why? Because they want you to think that they are God. That's why oppressors do that. That's hate, man. That is hate. Because y'all the same people that turn around and say that I want to go to heaven. No, you don't. Because if you wanted to go to heaven, you would be an honest man. You would tell what's really in these scriptures. But you don't. Because you do not want to inherit the kingdom of heaven. You don't. Yaganan, could you please read me verse 8?
Book of Isaiah, chapter 59 and verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
The way of peace they know not.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no judgment in their goings.
Right.
They have made them crooked paths.
Uh-huh.
Whosoever goeth therein shall not know peace.
Whoa. Let's read this over again. Baba Kashav, you could. Because I don't think they understand what this is saying. I don't think they understand. So go ahead and read it, and I'm going to break it down.
The peace, the way of peace, they know not.
Right.
And there is no judgment in their goings.
Stop right there. The way of peace, they know not. Okay. Let me put this in more simpler terms. You know, a lot of times you go to church and your grandmama, your mama, you know, I'm going to say them because them be the ones that claim they most spiritually in tune. They feel everything. They swear that the angels and the Most High literally whispering in their ear when they sleep. So I'm going to use them because they talk the most. Your father, you know, he really just there to be a deacon or a reverend. He sit up on the pulpit, look cool in his nice $20 suit. Really don't say nothing, really. Right? You know, Christianity is really for the women. It makes them feel good. Women like the words. That's why I got a lot of women in the congregations. That's why. And not really for the men. You know, the men just go there to look at the women that's been bamboozled so they can go and sleep with them and tell them lies just like the pastor do, right? That's what they do, right? The way of peace, they know not. And there's no judgment in their goings. But wait, I thought y'all preach peace. Oh, look, man, it's a head scratch. I mean, y'all preaching peace. At least that's what y'all say with y'all mouths. But in your heart, you have wicked ways. You know, that's why the scriptures say that their words are smoother than butter. They can talk up a good talk and say, you know, man, peace and love, man. I love y'all. You do? But how come on the street corner you trying to attack us and get us up off the block? I thought you was the same white man, the same honest white man that said that you love everybody. That it's supposed to be peace. That I can have my own belief. How come I can't have my belief? Because it's the truth. But if I was some Christian or a Muslim or a Buddhist, or I practiced Judaism, or I was a Rastafarian, if I was any of them things, you wouldn't give a damn. You wouldn't try to run us off the block. It would be peace. Why? Because I'm further dwelled in another religion that's leading me further astray from my real ways of living. Me knowing who I truly am. It would be peace then, because now I'm not causing any obstruction to your life. Why? Because I'm living a lie just like you're living a lie. So with that being said, I'm not stepping on your toes. We can live peacefully now. You know, if I can smoke some weed and go to church, and you know, you can have sex with African women and white women and snort coke, and we both Christians. Hey, we both live in sinful lives. That's peace right there. We're gonna live a good life together. Hey, what's going on, white man? What's going on, Arab man? We can get along. But the moment I separate away from that, you know, and I find out who I really am, and I should become the Commander General Yohana, then it's a problem. Now we can't live in peace. Now it's war between us. Now you starting to up the drugs that's going in the neighborhoods because you want my brothers and sisters to be strung out on drugs because we telling them not to. Now you're starting to see some. It's a conflict. They have no peace in them. I can bring up the 400 years of oppression. That's documented. They have documentaries. Hell, they make literally every year it's a slave movie that come out. Didn't they just have the slave movie with Will Smith in it? Every year it's a movie about us being at the bottom and being captive under our oppressors. They don't never show us a movie where like we on top and just living good. No, we always slaves. It's always some house nigga or some field nigga. Salaki. That's it. Or it's always movies about us being drug dealers and gangbangers. BMF, a whole TV series about drug dealers. About Lil Meech and them. What's the other one? Snowfall, drug dealers. The Wu-Tang Clan, drug dealers. It's never us in a good light. That's how much they hate us. And they put it there in our face for our kids to see it. You know how much more they hate us? They hate us so much that they don't even want a black masculine man in the household. So you know what they start doing? They start going to the cartoons. They start infiltrating the cartoon system. You know, it's going to be so bad, I'm going to mess with the kid's mind so he can go against his daddy. They want our kids to be homosexuals. They want our little girls to like girls. So what do? They up the graphics on the TV shows, on the cartoons. They make the cartoons with she got a whole dump truck back there. They got coconuts all up here. It's very detailed. You can see everything, the hips, the curves, and everything. She talk a different way. She's a little bit more seductive. They on there smoking drugs. They on there kissing each other. They damn near having sex on there. That's damn near soft porn on the cartoons now. Nowadays. That's how much they hate Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian children. That's how much they hate you. Because they don't love you. And if you don't see that just plainly in your face, then the white man has done a very, very good job of deceiving you. And that's why we say that he is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Because that's all he does is deceive you. It's all about perception. He's a very good deceiver. But if you have wisdom and knowledge that the ISUPK, the Commanding General Yohana, is trying to give you, then maybe he won't pull that veil over your eyes anymore. Then maybe you can start to understand that, hey, maybe they do hate us. Hey, you know, maybe I should take into consideration that the KKK is very, very, very bad. Maybe slavery just wasn't a thing of the past. Maybe it's still going on today. Maybe systematic oppression is really hurting me. Maybe me marrying a white woman is going to be a detriment to my life. You know, I'm not going to know who I am. You know, I'm going to have 8 cats in the home. You know, I'm going to be eating unseasoned chicken. I'm going to be eating pork. I'm going to be going to church every Sunday. I am going to be donating my whole check to the pastor. And if I'm not able to pay my rent and I do ask about it, he's going to just tell me to pray about it. Maybe following our oppressors is a bad thing. You got to put the Bible in your face and understand you got to put yourself in the Bible's shoes because it's talking about you. That's what you got to do. You can't keep reading the Bible like an Arab man, a Caucasian man, a Hawaiian man. Read it as a black and brown man and or woman. That's what you have to do. Because they do not love us. They're going to continue to deceive you because it's easy. It's easy. I'm going to continue to read the scripture. Let me ask you this question. If you're out in the streets, you go to a party, right? And you at a party and it's a good-looking sister there. And she trying to throw it on you. You're not going to deny it as a man. Why? Because it's easy. It's easy to just go with her and sleep with her and throw her off into the streets again. it's easy. But if you have to work for a woman, you have to put in time and actually court this woman, then maybe you'll appreciate it much more. But the reason why we don't appreciate Christianity or going to church, that in itself, because it's an easy thing to do. It's easy. It's no discernment. It's no determination. It's no discipline in Christianity. It's an easy thing to do. So it's very easy to be deceived by our oppressors. So it's very easy for them to put more of their hate on us. Go ahead. You got something to say, Shmarwan?
Yeah, so like, if I may, like what you're bringing out is so heavy when you was talking about Christianity, and all of the points drive back to that, because Christianity preaches peace, right? But they don't teach our women to be peaceful, right? Because when you get home, you have a whole lot of not men in here in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, but in the world, you have hell after you just went and took it from the oppressor all day. You come home to hell. Okay, and then another thing about Christianity is like when you mention the women, it's so our women, they don't have to be peaceful. You have to be meek. You have to be humble with them. They can be irate. They can say and do whatever they want, and they are right. That's why they can go live whatever lifestyle they want, right? But Christianity teaches us that the women is the head. They skip 1 Corinthians 11 completely, because who is the in the Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians? We have matriarchs. Okay, so first you're reverencing your big mama, then you reverencing your mama, then you reverencing your aunties, and then you might have a few uncles that stray a little lower. So Christianity is basically a progenitor of the feminist movement. And that's why everything is out of order. That's why what you're bringing out is so heavy, because our oppressor uses our women, just like they said, just like the whole women's movement. They said, they told Blacks and Hispanic and Native Indian women that you don't need a man. And as they're telling you don't need a man, what do? They went home to their man after talking and counseling you. That's why so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, women or men or women, you need to be under the leadership of Commander General Yohana and learning who you are in your role, so you don't have these confusions that the world gives to us. Salakia, Yahaja.
Salakia, everything that you just said is absolutely right. Absolutely right. And I'm glad you said that, because that brings me to my next point. That ties right into the scripture. Yaganan, if you could read verse 8 again, because what this brother just said, this mighty priest just said about Christianity is the exact reason I'm gonna break it down even more in detail, because he did it so beautifully. I'm gonna dive into it more. Go ahead and read it.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 59, verse 8. The way of peace they know not, and there is no judgment in their goings. They have made them crooked paths. Whosoever goeth therein shall not know peace.
Right. Christianity. It's Christianity for you. That right there is Christianity. And I'm going to break it down how, right? They have made them crooked paths. What is the crooked path that all my brothers and sisters are now going down? The Christianity path. The number one religion on the face of the earth. The number one drug. It's worse than weed. It's worse than crack cocaine in the 80s. Christianity is the number one drug and has caused a crooked path for my brothers and sisters to be deceived. And just like the priest was saying, I'm going to tell you how much more they hate us. It's a Christian church in every hood on every block. You know who's filled with that Christian church? Black women. Black women. It's barely no men. The only men in there be the god doggone deacon and the pastor, the piano and the drummer. That's it. It'd be a front row full of grannies in there with the big hats and tuxedos with their big huge purses, and then the piano be a woman. There's only 3 men in there. You got something to say?
I just want to pull a precept because like it was just talking about the paths, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to pull a precept for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 7. Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee, thy elders, and they will tell thee.
All right, Most High in Christ, right? Remember the days of old. It's a lot of things that we should remember the days of old about. We have the track records. Remember the days of slavery. Remember the days of all our captivities, the Greeks and the Roman captivities. Ask the elders. They'll tell you. And like look back in the track record of everything that happened and remember it and hold it dear to your heart. Not the heart that beat in your chest, but in your mind. And understand, these people kind of don't like me. I mean, my great-great-great-grandma was a slave. I mean, she was called the N-word numerous of times. But yet, since I'm not in that particular lifestyle and I'm in the 21st century and I didn't have to go through that, you tend to forget about it. But you can't forget about it because us going through that, you would have think that you serve your enemy, you would get some type of reward. But here we are in the 21st century, and the talk of the town is what? Reparations. And still not have yet received a penny. Remember the days of old. Remember, when you look at your grandparents, remember their parents and their parents. And take a good look at them. Just because they old and great now got a couple money, they didn't look like that back then when it was getting whooped on the street. When they just got randomly pulled over by a police officer and thrown across the hood. Or when a police officer's tried to rape them. Well, they don't tell you about that because it was so long ago, Or if they do tell you about it, you kind of don't remember it because it didn't happen to you. And that's the product of Christianity. It brings me back. The product of Christianity is what? Self. You only care about yourself. That's what Christianity thrives off of. Self, 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 self. It teaches you to be selfish. It teaches you to only care about yourself and nobody else. That's why you won't remember the days of old. Because you are a Christian and you're dwelled in the religion of Christianity. And since you weren't a slave back then, you don't care about the days of old. But the Bible says to remember the days of old. To consider the years of many generations. You don't even consider what your great-grandma and great-great-great-grandma went through. Because you don't care to remember it. Why? Because you are a Christian that follows Christianity. That's why. You don't give a damn. And Christianity teaches you to only care about what has happened to you personally in your life. And that's why the ISUPK, the Commanding General Yohana, has the truth, has the Spirit of Christ, has everything that consists of the Bible, because we care about others more than we do ourselves. That's the biggest thing the Bible teaches you, to care more about others than you do yourself. But we care about our people so much, and it's such a new thing here in the 21st century that they think it's hate. Our own people, because they've been indoctrinated with Christianity for so long. They've had that yoga bond upon their neck till it has destroyed us. In the 48th chapter, in the 28th verse in Deuteronomy, and it destroyed us. To the point to where Hosea 4:6 that says that my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. And then we don't remember the days of old to go back to understand The only reason why we in this position is because we followed our oppressors that hate us, but we thought they loved us. And they sold us the American dream as they do today. They say, come to America, come to America. Come over, get your little shop right here, get your little bodega. You know what I'm saying? You get your little taqueria, you get your little liquor store, you good. Then the property tax be through the roof. I can't even go on my own store. You think I'm stealing something like I don't even own the property. You know, if something happened, I'll go to court. You know, you trying to give me dog years. You know, I'm walking down the neighborhood in a neighborhood that I might own. I own this apartment complex and I get shot down in the street. But y'all the ones that say, I tell people to come over here. Y'all tell us to go over here and go there. But yet we still get treated how the military veterans get treated. Like dog crap. It's no honor in a Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man's life here on this earth here in America. They don't give a damn. The sooner you'll figure that out, the sooner that you'll figure out that, hey, you might can live on this earth another 30, 40 more years. But the more you keep trusting in them and saying, let me lean to their ways, you know. They own everything. I might as well just bend the knee. That's what you think. I'm going to tell you how we as a people, and I'm glad because Cap said this, the Game of Thrones is like the truth. It's like the Bible. One particular time, they had this dude named Joffrey, right? He was not the rightful heir. He was the bully that made everybody bend the knee just to follow what he said. That is America. You don't have to bend the knee like Joffrey did. Joffrey made everybody. You don't have to bend the knee to a false king. You don't have to follow what Joe Biden says. You don't have to listen and be a Christian. You don't have to listen and be a Buddhist. You don't have to do that because those are false religions. And those false religions don't have gods that you can pray to that can help fulfill things in your life. But the ISUPK, the Commanding General Yohana, is not a religion. It's a culture. It's a way of living. It gives you back your nationality that was stripped from you. It gives you a backbone. It gives you 2 feet to stand on. Because what's the saying? If you have nothing to stand on, you'll fall for anything. And our people have fell for any and everything, and still to this day. That's why you have to understand that the ISUPK is your home, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man. Because we're going to love you. We're going to provide you with stuff that you actually need. And the number one thing that you do need is the Holy Bible. Because it was given to you. That's why it's called Holy Bible. Holy meaning separate. It's a separate book specifically for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians edification. So that way we can break the curse of Hosea 4 and 6 that we destroy for lack of knowledge. Because the beginning of wisdom is to fear the Most High God. And the only way that you know that you actually fear him is if you follow the law, statutes, and commandments. Because if you're on the other end of that, you really don't know what fear is. You're just going to continue to live in iniquity. You don't really fear the Most High. But when you read in the scriptures what was happening to people that didn't follow the law, statutes, and commandments, don't make me go back to the Old Testament when they were stoning people, you know, and cutting people's heads off under the Moses law. But you lucky we got the Most High Yahweh Mashiach and he died for our sins. Because I tell you what, it's a couple Levite brothers, a couple Judite brothers that would have been off in heads, would have been stoning people to death. And I don't think you would want that. Need I remind you that that was happening? Hey, we would have been in order a long time ago. It would have been over with. We would have been good. You know, hey, nope, you can't do that. Oh, you ain't keeping the Sabbath? Okay. You know, them fake Israelites would have been out the water. So you just gonna starve yourself half to death on the Sabbath. You ain't gonna turn on no lights. You ain't gonna use the restroom. You ain't gonna change your baby diaper because that's working. Right. That's working, my bad. You ain't gonna keep the Lord's Passover. You're gonna have a Passover in a strip club. Or with bottle girls. That's what you're gonna do. Oh no. That wouldn't have happened underneath Moses' law. You got something to say?
Yeah, just real quick, if I could.
Hmm?
The fake Israelites, they don't work or do nothing on the Sabbath because they don't know what work is any damn way. Only work that happens is here in the Israelite school of UPK. So I
Not Most High in Christ. You're absolutely right. And that's why since 1969, we have been pulling brothers and sisters out of all different types of religions. Rastafarian, Judaism, Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity. Don't make me go into all the denominations of Christianity. I mean, St. Lutheran, Pentecostal, Roman Catholic. Good night. Every time I look around, you got Baptist, Saint Baptist. I can go on and on and on and on. The New Methodists or non-denominational, them the brothers that's just in it. They don't even know what's going on. Let me just attach to something. Let me cleave on to something, kind of like the heathens do. Kind of how when we be out and they see us and they be like, oh, I'm Native Indian. Dang well you not. But that's what they have. They have destroyed us so much that that's what we do, because that's how much they hate us. Oh, you better believe our oppressors know. They know, Salaki, who the Lord is really with. They know. That's why I got that Space Force. They scared. They terrified because they want this kingdom to last. They want it. They want it. Just how they wanted their kingdom now, they got it. And they want it to last forever. That's why they shooting you down in the streets. Why? Because just like Robert C. Wallace said, he said the reason why the KKK was started was to scare off black men from going to voting booths to vote for a leader to have power so they can have some type of rights during them times. You know what he said? He said, we got to keep the South in white hands. That's the same thing that they do here today. Why do you think they man, I heard a police officer saying, yeah, man, I done killed about like 3 black people today. But he said niggas. He said, I'll kill 3 niggas a day. Well, off tomorrow to go kill 3 more. That's their motive. That's their mindset. As it says in Isaiah 59:7. They fee gonna run the evil. That you gotta understand. Like they try any and every way so that way the entire world is just covered with Caucasian men and women and babies. They don't want us around. The only select few they want around is just for the NBA and the NFL. They keep them untouched slaves right there. But it's for everybody else, the 9 to 5s and everybody else. Oh, you best believe they trying to knock you off because they don't want us to be fruitful and multiply as the Most High commanded us. Because the more of us, and we start to realize, see, you gotta understand our people, we carnal. They believe in numbers. They start saying, we might can overthrow this government. You don't need numbers. You don't need that. You need the Spirit of the Lord. That's what you need. You have something to say? Oh, you had nothing to say, Most High Christ. All right? Let me see. Okay, whosoever goeth therein shall not know peace. So you dwell in Christianity, all these false religions. You follow the ways of our oppressors. Hey, you ain't gonna know no peace. You'll never know peace. You want me to give you an example? Okay. If you're a Christian and you follow Christianity, Christians believe that the law is done away with, right? Is that not correct? Okay. I'll give you an example. You go to church, after you break the bread, them little circle pieces of bread be like this big, like that, size of mini Oreos, and you drink your little shot of wine, really be grape juice, right? Your little Welch's grape juice. And they say their little prayers, sing their little songs out the book, because none of them know the songs. After that, you know what they say? We got some food in the back. If a couple brothers and sisters would like to stay behind and have some good times, we got some food in the back. You go in the back, they got fresh ham hog, pig ears, pig lips, all type of stuff, right? You have something to say, Shimon?
They say if anybody want to stay for fellowship.
Right. For fellowship. What they say. Say it just like that. For fellowship. All that breathing hard, weird, all that stuff, right? You go back there, you start to get your plate. You get your macaroni, you get your collard greens with the little pieces of ham in it. They think that we don't be seeing a little piece of ham. It be ham enough, right? And then the mustard greens. Then you go get your drumsticks of chicken that came off the grill. You go right there, get some slices of ham, slice of that lemon cake, and cornbread. That right there is the Christian meal. It's a Christian meal right there. And you're going to eat it, right? And then you've been eating that for about 20, 30 years. But in the midst of you eating all this, right? Everything else could have been good. But it was that pork that was getting you. And you just came from the hospital and the doctor said, hey, man, you got to lay off on that pork. Literally, the doctors that have gone to school for 12, 13 plus years, that have PhDs, tell you to not eat pork. A doctor in the scriptures, it says to honor the physicians, the doctors that prescribe us medicines, that know about the anatomy of our body, that know about our arteries, and know about our flesh and how it functions. And he telling you to your face, don't eat pork. And you say to hell with him. I'm gonna pray about this pork as it's going down. And now you sitting here on your deathbed and this guy doggone, you sitting up there in Darnell or Baylor Scott and White with an IV in your arm, a tube in your neck, and your blood pressure through the god doggone roof. Because all your life you ate pork and it messed with your blood and your arteries and your heart skipping a beat. Because pork is filled with parasites. We know this. I know this specifically because I'm from the country. I single-handedly have skinned a hog and literally seen the maggots and parasites come out of it. And literally seen my grandma take that same swine, cut them up, and slap it right on the grill, and I ate it. And that was when I was in the world. And I believed her. Just pray over it, and, I'll be good. Since not eating swine, my bowels have been a lot more easy. I've been really good at like feeling light and feeling healthy and feeling like I'm myself. But when I was eating the swine, I felt sluggish. It's kind of like, smoking a weed. All you want to do is sleep. You're a couch potato. You don't want to do nothing. That's why people that smoke weed, they get certain professions that require them to do little to nothing. That's why you hang around other people that your best friends are people that do little to nothing. The dope heads, the crack heads, little to nothing. Just like Christianity, you have to do little to nothing to say you believe on Christ. That path right there is a crooked path. You ain't gonna know peace. I'm gonna go into one more thing, and I'm gonna get to you, Shamarwan. I'm gonna say one more thing. This is another reason how following their ways is no way of peace. They say the law is done away with, right? Now in the law, it says that if a man lie down with another man as he do with a woman, blood shall be upon his hand. And guess what? He shall surely be put to death. That's what the scriptures say. It's talking about homosexual marriages and couples. Christianity say the law done away with. So, obviously that's not in the picture. Hence is why they let the homosexuals in the church. Why? Because they say, come as you are. Why do they say that? Because they're afraid to offend the homosexual community. They talk on eggshells, just how you have to be at work. That's what they do. They walk on eggshells. And they say the law is done away with, so to hell with that, They probably secretly like them, like in a sexual way. That's why they let them in the church, because the pastor probably on the down low, as they say it, right? He probably a secret homosexual in the closet. He said, come as you are. They never change. I have a family member. My cousin right now is a homosexual. He attends church every Sunday. Every Sunday. And swear to God that he is an angel. Now, me being a priest that I am, and I actually became a commanding general Johanna, and knowing the knowledge, because back then I didn't know. I thought he was cool. When I came to the knowledge, I looked at him dead in his eye. I said, the way that you are living is not peaceful. The way that you're living will have you to contract AIDS and HIV, incurable diseases. And every day you will cry as you go to bed. But you're going to look me in my face and say that the life that you're living is peaceful? You're going to look me in my face and tell me one of the greatest things that a man can do is have a son or a daughter? You can look me in my eyes and tell me that your life is peaceful. You can't bring no kids into this world. You're not attracted to women. You don't want to bring a woman into the world. You don't follow the laws of God. You got parasites running all through your bowels. You let men put rods up your tail. Every day you go out here, you're smoking weed, getting high. You're probably getting and you're probably shooting up in your arm, heroin and all this. Your life is hell. And you're going to say that it's peaceful. The ways of following our oppressors is not peaceful because they know peace. They don't know it. You have something to say, Shamarwan?
No, I ain't really got nothing to say. I've just got precept for what you're talking about, whatever, you know.
What's the precept?
This is Leviticus 20, verse 13. Mm-hmm. If a man also lie with mankind, as he lieth with womankind, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon. They shall surely be put to death.
Right.
Their blood shall be upon them.
Yaganan, can you give me John 9 and 31? I'm glad he just brought this up. I'm saying how much our oppressors hate us. Since they're the ones that started this, you know that. You know, our oppressors started is the reason, like, why our brothers and sisters are homosexuals. They're the whole reason why it's the LGBTQ community. You do know back in the Romans and Greek times, they had this homosexual type stuff that they used to do. There's nothing new underneath the sun, as it says in the scriptures. Go ahead and read that.
Book of John, chapter 9, and verse 31. Mm-hmm. Now we know that God heareth not sinners. But if any man be a worshiper of God and doeth his will, him he heareth.
Right. We already know. God just say he don't hear sinners. But Christians swear up and down that the Lord is hearing them. But God just said, I'm not listening to you. Why? Because you're a homosexual in the church. And in the scriptures, it says what? If a man also lie with mankind as he lies with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. What is an abomination? Something that the Lord hates, right? They shall surely. He didn't say maybe. He didn't say it was a probability. You know, this ain't probability in high school. This ain't some type of math. This ain't some type of math problem, math course, math equation. He said surely. It's 100% sure that you will be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. Is that not literal? Oh my God. The irony in this. Literally, when two men lie together, they contract AIDS. What is that? They contract HIV. Those are blood diseases. Your blood is literally upon you. You don't live very long neither, and you shall surely be put to death. And last time I checked, the Most High did not lie. You will die living that lifestyle. And in John 9 and 31, what did it say? The Lord heareth not sinners. So every day you go to church and you go and pray and you say, you know, Lord, pray over this poor. Lord, please, I know you know I'm out here doing this bad stuff and I just bear with me. You know what I heard G Herbo said? G Herbo is a popular rapper from Chicago, right? And he said, I know the Lord's still with me even though I'm out here doing my dirt. The hell he ain't. The Lord ain't out there with you while you doing that. Go ahead.
Another precept for that. Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 6. For the Most High hateth sinners, and will repay vengeance unto the ungodly, and keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment.
Right. Oh, good night. Good night. That's how much our oppressors hate us, that they want us to be in the fear of the judgment of the Most High, to wreak utter vengeance against us for not following his law, statutes, and commandments. That's why they made the whole LGBTQ community so homosexual men can come and dwell in that lifestyle. When in all actuality, the Most High said that he hates that. And he's going to wreak vengeance. And he's just waiting. He's just waiting. Because in that mighty day of their it's going to get ugly. But you didn't want to listen to us. You didn't want to listen to us to let you know that they hate you. How somebody love you and allow you to continue in a lifestyle that gives you diseases that are incurable? I know everybody across the face of this earth, whenever you were growing up and you found out about HIV and AIDS, your biggest goal was to not get it, to be away from it as far as possible. You didn't want to contract that. And if you did, you would cry every night because you know that you couldn't fulfill the lust of your life. You couldn't go out and have sex anymore because you have HIV, AIDS, and you would cry every night because you think that they would treat you how we used to treat the girls in school when we said they had cooties. You didn't want to let them touch you. You were afraid to be looked at in a different light. But yet you go and still do it. Why? Because you're a sinner. And sinners love to sin. Sinners love to fulfill the lust of their flesh. That's why you do it. And why else do you do it? Because the oppressors made up a false religion and put it upon you. And you fall subject to the hate of them. And since you fall subject to the hate of our oppressors, you hate yourself so much that you go and create a whole community and force everybody on the face of the earth to be just like you because you hate yourself. You hate your lifestyle. You don't like your lifestyle, but you swear up and down you do. Oh, do you? That's what you do. Right? As a matter of fact, verse 4 says, give to the godly man and help not a sinner. Now, for all you heathens out there, don't think that you finna get any help from the ISUPK and the Commanding General Yohana. You aren't godly, righteous men. You are a sinner. And how I know you're a sinner? Because you're never going to stop sinning. Because it's embedded in you to sin. It's embedded in you. It's no coincidence that, in movies, right? You could even watch Lucifer on Netflix. Or when you was growing up, you seen a cartoon devil. How ironic that the devil was red. How ironic in the Zondervan Bible dictionary, the color red is sin. Hold up now. I think I'm putting two and two together, man. I think I'm connecting the dots to understand who the real son of perdition is, who the real sinner is, and what he has caused throughout the earth. What type of message has he pushed? The message of iniquity. That's why we are in this position. You don't think that they knew that back then? That if they can knock us off our high horse and they could allow us to make us follow them, that they would have the authority? And we said, let's go join another nation. And the Most High brought another nation from far ends of the earth to put us into captivity. That's what he did. Let me see. Let me get to my next scripture. What was I at? Where was we at, Yaganan? Isaiah 59?
No, what was that? John 9 and 31.
Oh, yeah, read that last part of John 9 and 31.
But if any man be a worshiper of God and doeth his will, him he heareth.
Right. If any man be a worshiper of God and do his will, him he heareth. What is the will of God? The will of God is what? Waking up blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. The will of God is what? Being an actual righteous man according to these scriptures. That's God's will. Following Christ, his only begotten son, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. That's God's will. The things that the Lord wants you to do that are right. To be a just man. To be a just, honest, and righteous man. Because for so long, we have been, what's the word? We have been deceived into thinking that our oppressors love us. When in all actuality, they never had no intent of loving us. I mean, you got the KKK. You got 400 years of oppression. You got slavery, right? And it wasn't just black people. Get that out your head. Native Indians and Hispanics were there with us. You got the Battle of the Alamo. Don't believe what they tell you there in that museum. Need I remind you, Mexicans did help us out. My Mexican brothers and sisters did help us out, right? My Hispanics. But they want to make it seem that we didn't help each other. Why? Because they want us to hate each other. To this day, you still got Mexicans that hate black people. You still got black people that won't let Mexicans say nigga. We the same. They just like us. They just speak a different language. They just say a couple words and roll a couple words and speak it in a different dialect. But they're Negroes. I mean, they have cookouts. They have block parties. They dance all night. They drink beers. They drink strong. I mean, they cook good. They dance good. They look good. Shit. Slovakia, they're the best at sports. They got all of soccer. Even some in baseball. And as well in basketball. Everything they do is good. Just like us. And Native Indians. They're excellent warriors. I mean, what not can blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians do? Well, I'll answer that. The main thing is follow the Most High God. Why? Because we're too busy following our oppressors thinking that they love us when they really hate us. But you actually can follow the Most High God if you come up underneath the banner. Whatever city you be in all of these 50 states, it's an ISUPK school near you. That's a fact. I mean, you always say the Most High is speaking to me. He is speaking to you. You just got to listen. You got to listen to his priests and prophets that are bringing out the words that are talking directly to you. But the problem is you won't put yourself in the shoes of the Bible. You would rather whitewash it. You would rather go to another nation. You would rather listen to them. You would rather say, maybe they're right and my own people are wrong. When in all actuality, your own people have had your back since the beginning and the oppressors have not. What was like that one movement or this law or bill? Is like whenever we made something, they could say that they made it. It start with a P. It's like a forgot what it's called. Go ahead.
Talking about the patent out of one.
Yes, that, right? They hate us. They hate us. They really do hate us. Because everything that we invented, they used to say, I invented it. Because I know when I read back, I know the first president was indeed a black man. But then they're going to say, it was George Washington. Then when we started making stuff, they started to say that they did that. That they made the light bulb. They made the cotton gin. They invented peanut butter. They're the reason why this country is great. They're the reason why they had the best military. They cook the best. They look the best. And that's why everywhere that they are, they plaster themselves as being the number one. It goes all the way down into materialistic things that you buy. Let me tell you this. If you go to the dealership and you buy a vehicle, what is the main vehicle that they advertise? The white colored one. They don't never advertise the darker colored cars. You always advertise the white F-150, the white Hyundai, the white Kia, right? But they never advertise the black one or the brown colored one. How come? If a Caucasian man gets diamonds, what does he do? He gets white diamonds. You don't see him with grills in his mouth or gold. because they don't like the brass or the dark color things. It all goes down to that one simple thing. That's how much that they hate us. And it messes with your subconscious for you to think that you're less than or you're not, you don't amount to nothing. That's what they want you to think. In every little thing that they do. What happens when there's a shooting in the hood? How come in white neighborhoods, Caucasian neighborhoods, they come 2 minutes tops? Matter of fact, in the Caucasian neighborhoods, they got a 24-hour security that roams around. But the moment something happened in the black and brown neighborhood, you know, they're an hour late, or they ain't even coming at all. Do you know that in Chicago they don't even respond to police calls? Like they don't even go into the hoods. They say it's too dangerous. But I thought that you knew that this job was dangerous. I thought you knew that. I thought you knew that the job you signed up for was dangerous. Give me Galatians 4:16. You have something to say?
Yeah, I don't want. Can I bring out something real quick about the patent?
Yeah, go ahead.
July 31st, 1790, issued by Samuel Hopkins, which was an oppressor, for a process of making potash, an ingredient used in fertilizer. President George Washington signed the first patent.
Real talk.
What'd you call for your Hydra? Galatians 4:16.
Con.
All right, I got it. This is Galatians chapter 4, verse 16. Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth?
Right. Just like the system of Rhyme said, Christian logic gets us killed. So you mad at me because I tell you that Christianity is going to kill you. You get mad at me because Christianity allows you to be a homosexual, to contract AIDS and HIV. That it allows you to smoke weed and shoot up heroin in your arm. That it allows you to snort cocaine. That it allows you to be a religion whore. That you get to serve multiple gods. That you can serve pagan holidays. I'm your enemy because I'm telling you that those are the things that are not going to profit you life. Those are the things that are going to lessen your life. Those are the things that are going to allow you, that are going to prohibit you from entering into the kingdom of heaven. And you hate me? That's because you like lies, because the oppressor has made you hate yourself. You like lies so much that you don't want me to tell you the truth, that you cannot eat pork, that you can't eat shrimp, crab, and lobster. It says it in the scriptures, literally. Go ahead.
Now I got to get up out of here and head home. So shalom, Lord and Christ. Shalom, how about your Shabbat?
Shalom, Yahweh Shabbat. Right? You hate me because I tell the truth. That's why you hate us. But just like Christ said, before they hated you, they hated me. That's what Christ said. That's what Christ said. And how crazy is it that when we was going to have the Lord's 54th annual Passover, it was on the news, and they said that we were a black extremist hate group. How do we hate? How do we hate? Because we're telling you that the Lord told us to be separate, that the Bible is only for us, that you're not supposed to eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. You're not supposed to go out here and try to murder people and molest little girls and boys and be a pedophile because we tell you that you cannot be a homosexual man. That's hate. Oh, it's hate because the entire earth goes by God loves everybody. So if God loves everybody, he loves me, he loves you. So me going against it is hate. But in all actuality, it's not hate. Me telling you to not be a drug dealer is love. Love, man. You know how I know it's love? Because I'm stopping you from getting dog years in jail. in prison. Have you ever? I know somebody got a family member. You know they went to jail for selling drugs. And they went in 10, 20 years, and they came out. They're a lot more humble. It changed their life. But they would have never been in that situation if you told him you don't have to sell drugs to obtain money. You don't have to sell a lot of drugs to get $10,000. You can go and get a regular job. You can go out and grind and work your way up. But you didn't love your brother enough. You didn't love your people enough. Instead, you allowed him to sell them because you were afraid of what he might say to you. You were afraid of losing a family member. That's what you were afraid of. But the ISUPK, Commanding General Yohana, teaches you to have courage, teaches you to go up against your family and tell them that that is wrong, because the ways of America would not have you living. Do you not understand? Do you not see the track record of America, man? You know, violence is getting worse. You know, gangs are getting worse. You know, the rap lifestyle is getting worse. The hoods are getting worse. The generation of kids is getting worse. The quality of food is getting worse. The women are getting worse. And war is getting worse. The track record of America is just like Isaiah 59:7. That they make haste to shed innocent blood and their feet run to evil, and their path is full of destruction. And they don't know the way of peace. We know the way of peace. And the way of peace is coming away from America, just as it says in Revelations 18:4, to not be partakers of her sins and her plagues. Because, you know, a sinful life is not a peaceful life. It's not. It's a reason why a lot of people, you know, tend to regret the life that they have been living here in America, because the life that they have been living is sinful. It's the reason why a woman gets to her 30s and 40s, or a man gets to his 30s and 40s, and he backtracks and like, man, I wish I never done some of them things. I wish I did this. He get out of prison. I wish I wasn't selling them drugs. I missed 20, 30 years of my kids' lives. Because a brother didn't tell you that he loved you enough to tell you to stop selling drugs. And now you missed 30 years of your kids' lives. They didn't have a brother that was courageous enough to tell that sister to stop sleeping around, or a sister to tell that sister to stop sleeping around. And now she slept with somebody, and now she's contracted HIV. Now she cries every night. Now she praying to God, and God not answering her prayers. Now she has no faith. She don't believe in God now. Now it's going to be even harder to tell her that she is a child of God, that she can change her life, that she can actually be a virtuous woman. That'll be a harder thing to do when it's 30, 40 years past in life. And all your life you was eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. That's a hard thing to do. You know, the men above always say, to get your people to listen, you got to go to war with your own people. This ain't no carnal war. It's a spiritual war. And this war that we fight, you got to understand something, my Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian brothers. We can't fight this war with bearing arms. I mean, mainly the entire war is spiritual, and it consists of what's going on in your life, in your head, the demons. You have to fight those demons. You have to fight the devil the Bible speaks of. And that goes by fighting any way that he tries to push on you to stop following the Most High. If he pushing pagan holidays on you, you got to stop serving that. That means that you fighting the devil the Bible speaks of. If he's giving you a false religion, you got to stop serving that. That means that you're fighting the devil the Bible speaks of. If he gives you a gift, which is marijuana, he gives you the money to go and play basketball in the jersey for 20 years of your life, you have to fight those urges, just like our King Yahushua Mashiach did. You can't continue to keep following these ways. It amounts to nothing. Last time I checked, the men in the ISUPK and Commander General Yohana are not dropping like flies as our brothers and sisters are in the world. Why? Because you actually serve the Most High God. And when you actually serve the Most High God, you eliminate yourself away from the hate of our oppressors to be caught up in some type of judgment of our oppressors, or whatever judgment the Most High deals out. Add you back. All right. Let's see where I want to go next. I want. Give me Isaiah 14 and 21.
Come on.
Yep.
Isaiah, chapter 14 and 21.
Yeah.
Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquities of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities.
Right. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers. This is talking about our oppressors. Now we know that they have caused great pain and great turmoil to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians for quite some time. And we have the evidence. We have the track records. We have the proof. And the Lord says to prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, for what your forefathers have done to my people. You must pay, because you have shown nothing but great hatred and violence towards my people. Right? That they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. The Most High is going to make sure that they are at the bottom for the hate that they have caused and the violence that the hate that they have shown and the violence they have caused against us. The Most High is going to make sure that they pay. And if he's going to make sure they pay, you need to be on the right side. Because if not, give me Proverbs 11 and 21. If not, this was going to happen. Because you joining hand in hand with them.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 21. So hand joined in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered.
Right. Though joined in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished. The oppressors hate us so much because they understand that they are not God's chosen people. They understand that they have a judgment that they have to pay for. But guess what? You don't understand that. You love our oppressors. You love their way of living. You love the way they talk. You love the way they live. But if you are joined hand in hand, it's not going to stop them from being punished. Just because you have an Arab friend or a Middle Eastern friend or East Indian, East African, or a Caucasian friend, Hawaiian friend, you're not going to stop the Most High from judging him, because he has to be taught a lesson. He has to be humbled for the hate that he has shown us. And that hate, he acted on it and inflicted violence on us for no reason. As it says in Isaiah 59 and 7, he has to pay. So is it not right that if somebody does something to you, it has to be done unto them? Oh, so now we picking and choosing now. Now the Most High can't go and genocide an entire nation in the sake of his children. But if you at school and somebody hits you across the head, what your mama say, you better not let nobody hit you back. You're going to hit them back. But the Most High is saying, you better not, I'm not going to let nobody come and hit my children and not hit them back. But it's a problem. It's a problem. We preach hate. It's a problem when we do it. Why is it such a problem when we're finally getting back our nationality that was stripped from us and our culture and our ways of living? Why is it a problem, Black man? Why is it a problem, Hispanic and Native Indian man? Is it because you're scared? Is it because you're scared that our oppressors might do something to you? Let me let you know something. You trust in the Most High, ain't nobody even going to utter their lips or tongue or open their mouth towards you, man. Ain't nobody going to touch you. Just like in the days of David when he went up against Goliath. He said, I'm going to have you know that after this day, after he slew Goliath, just like he did that bear in them lions, you're going to know that the Most High God is only dealing with the nation of Israel. That's what you're going to know. He ain't dealing with everybody. So if he's only dealing with us, you have to escape and separate away from what? That hate. That's what you got to do. You got to separate away from our oppressors because they show nothing but hate. Our oppressors are a bad tree, and we are the good tree. And our oppressors are poison, and we are the good substance. And they come and trickle on and put themselves into what we got going on and poison our lifestyles, poison our households. That's what they do. I'm gonna get give me Zechariah 11:5.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 11 and verse 5. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not.
Right? Who was that? Zechariah. All right. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. Our oppressors slay us, and they don't hold themselves guilty. Peyton Grindon slayed my brothers and sisters, and 9 times out of 10, he didn't get the right judgment. He didn't get the right verdict. They slay us and hold themselves not guilty. George Zimmerman slayed Trayvon Martin and has not served jail time. He held himself not guilty. And he know he was blatantly wrong. As soon as he get in the courthouse, I'm not guilty. I plead not guilty. It was self-defense. Knowing dang well it wasn't. Knowing dang well that was a premeditated murder. But they hold themselves not guilty. That's what they do. That brings me to my next scripture. Give me Lamentations 4:18. And read till it says we cannot go in our streets. So just read to the streets part.
Book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
They hunt our steps, that we cannot go in our streets.
Right? Stop right there. They hunt our steps, that we cannot go in our streets. We can't go in our neighborhoods and walk up the street to the corner store. They hunting our steps. As a matter of fact, what's that one scripture? Let me get that right quick. I'm finna get it. They hunt our steps so that way we cannot go in our streets. And there's a precept to this. Let me get Psalms 10:8. So they hunt our steps so that way we cannot go in our streets, right? Let me get Psalms 10:8. Tell you how they be hunting our steps.
Book of Psalms, chapter 10, and verse 8. He
Right.
sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, in the secret places, doeth he murder the innocent.
Right.
His eyes are privily against the poor.
Good night. Who it is talking about? Who's the poor? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Who's the poor? He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. What's the villages? The highways and byways in the hoods. He's sitting there lurking in his Ford Explorer police car, his squad car, and the secret places all in the ditch, hiding in the bush, hiding in the woods, waiting to hit you with that speed gun or just pull out and pull you over as a regular traffic stop. But he coming to hurt you. Doth he murder the innocent? Fernando Castile. What did the Sterling brother that was in Baton Rouge, Louisiana? Doth murder the innocent. Don't they always tell you when after you gun down, stop moving, stop resisting? Or even when they're arrested, they tell you to stop moving when you got 2 men that's 200 plus pounds on you. How the hell I'm gonna move? I got a whole knee in my back. I'm on the ground, and it's 2 men that's over 6 foot or whatever height they might be, 5'10" and 210 pounds plus. How am I going to move? How can I move? And what do? They murder the innocent. And his eyes are privily set against the poor. Who's the poor? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the poor of the earth. In a financial standpoint, right? Because that's what the world functions off of. But the Most High God says that we don't need money. We don't need the riches and the golds. He says that for thou art rich. The Most High God says that we are a holy and a special nation. That's what the Most High God says. We're going to be set upon high above every nation on the face of the earth. That's what he said. And with that, that's all I got. That will conclude Wednesday's class, right? I hope that after this class that you do know why our oppressors do, in fact, hate us. Main reason being why? Because we have the Most High and the only true living God. We are God's chosen people. We actually have a culture, nationality, a heritage, and a lineage to actually go back to. And our oppressors are upset because they are not God's chosen people. With that, could I get the security announcements? If you got
them. Come on. We're the ISUPK, starting out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rules for a new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Book of Numbers, chapter 18 and verse 21. Book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10, means 10 in the Hebrew, ma'ashara, 10% of every penny of an increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher priest fund. Free will offering for the priest, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocation, God willing.
All right. Upcoming holy convocations is what the upcoming holy convocation is. The memorial of blowing of trumpets, first day of the 7th month, which will be on September the 15th, 2023, which is on a Friday, and which can be found in the book of Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, verses 24 through 25.
Come. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black. Boots, shirt, pants, headscarf, headband. That's it for the announcement.
All right, with that, Amajium, we're going to say the Lord's Prayer. That's what we're going to do. Say the Lord's Prayer. All right, we're going to face the east. Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Kodash.
Kodash.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Shamkai. Yahweh. Malakwatkai. Thaba'ah. Ratazayaka. Hayah. Aisha. Baharatazah. Kawa. Hayah. Ashemaya. Nathan. Manawa. Lakam. Kal. Yawam.
Yawam.
Wasalak Yanawa. Kabawath Yanawa.
Kalawakina.
Kasalak Yanawa.
Kalawakina.
Kabawath Yanawa. Wara'a.
Wala.
Saba Ya'inawa.
Wala.
Banasanawam Abal.
Wala.
Hawashanayawa. Mayan.
Wala.
Ra. Kaya. Lakar.
Ka.
Hamalakwa. Wahara.
Awana.
Wahata Parat. La Waranyam. Aman.
Amen.
Our Father.
Amen.
Our Father.
Our Father,
Which art in heaven.
which art in heaven,
Hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh.
Yahweh,
The kingdom come.
thy kingdom come,
Thy will be done
will be done
in earth
in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily bread,
our daily bread,
and forgive us our debts
and forgive us our debts,
as we forgive our debtors.
and we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation,
And lead us not into temptation,
but deliver us from evil.
deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom
For thine is the kingdom,
and the power
and the power,
and the glory forever. So be it.
so be it.
All right. We already standing. We're gonna give in Israel, we're gonna give a courtesy salute to the brothers and a courtesy salute to the sisters. Anybody that tuned in. In Israel, Majim Shabbat, Majim, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah. And we're gonna turn to Sar. Give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Shema Latah Ba'Shem Yahushua. Most High in Christ. Most High in Christ. I ain't gonna go back. Hold up.